Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Daily English Podcast, where learning English is simple, natural, and fun. I'm Cor, and today we have a very exciting episode lined up for you. We are going to learn 50 phrasal verbs used in real, everyday conversation, the way native speakers actually talk.
And I'm Oris. It's so wonderful to be here with you all today. We don't use textbook English on this show. We talk the way real people talk, with natural phrases, real examples, and lots of practice. So just relax, listen carefully, and enjoy every minute of this lesson.
That's right. We are going to use all 50 phrasal verbs in real conversation, so you will hear them naturally in context. We will explain each one clearly, and by the end of this episode, these phrases will feel familiar. So, Oris, let's get right into it. How did your morning start today?
Oh, it started a little slow, actually. My alarm went off at 6:30, but I did not feel like moving at all. I just lay there staring at the ceiling for a few minutes, hoping it would somehow stop on its own. You know that feeling when your whole body just refuses to cooperate?
I know that feeling so well. So, your alarm went off. Everyone, that means your alarm made a sound. It started ringing. My alarm goes off at 7 o'clock every morning, and I still feel shocked every single time, even though I set it myself.
Exactly. And even though it went off, I still did not get up straight away. I just stayed in bed for a few more minutes, which turned into 10. Get up means to leave your bed and stand. There is a difference between waking up and getting up. You can wake up but still not get up yet.
Perfectly said. I woke up at 6:30, but I only got up at 6:50. My cat was sitting on my chest and staring at me the whole time, which honestly made it harder to move. Cats have a special talent for making you feel guilty and comfortable at the same time.
That is so funny. Okay, so after I finally got up, the first thing I did was turn on the kitchen light because it was still a little dark outside. Turn on means to start something, like a light or a machine. You can turn on the lights, turn on the TV, turn on the shower, turn on your phone.
Very useful. And then I put on my slippers because the floor was absolutely freezing. Put on means to place clothing or accessories on your body. I put on my jacket before I go outside. I put on my glasses when I read. I put on my shoes before I leave the house. It is one of the most common phrasal verbs you will hear every day.
Then I went to the kitchen and boiled some water to make tea. I always need something warm in the morning. It is basically my way of telling my brain that the day has officially started. Without that cup of tea, nothing functions properly.
I completely understand. I usually heat up some leftover coffee from the night before. Heat up means to make something warm again. I heat up my lunch every day at work. I heat up soup on cold evenings. I heat up leftovers instead of cooking from scratch. It saves so much time.
Very practical. So Corey, did you actually sit down and eat breakfast this morning, or was it the usual grab-and-go situation?
I did sit down today, actually. I had eggs and toast, and I took my time. Sit down means to lower your body into a seat. Please sit down, everyone, relax, and enjoy this lesson. I had a little more time this morning because I went to bed earlier than usual.
Oh, nice. I did not have much time, so I just grabbed a banana and ate it walking around the kitchen. My quick breakfast is always a banana. Easy, healthy, no cooking, no washing up. It is the breakfast of people who press the snooze button one too many times.
Okay, so after breakfast, I had to get ready and head out. But first, I had to look for my keys, which took about 5 whole minutes. I checked every pocket, every bag, every surface in the kitchen. Look for means to try to find something. I always look for my phone in the morning, and it is almost always right next to me, but I still look for it anyway.
Oh, I do the same thing every single morning. I eventually found out that my keys were in my coat pocket, the one place I had not checked. Find out means to discover or learn new information. I found out that the coffee shop near my house opens at 7 o'clock. I find out something new every day, especially when I pay attention to the world around me. I love that. Okay, so then I had to hurry to catch the bus. I had to run to the bus stop and I just barely made it. I got on right before the doors closed. Get on means to enter a bus, train, or other form of transport. I got on the train at 8:15. I got on the bus at the corner. I got on the plane at gate 12. And when you arrive at your stop, you get off. I got off at the third stop and walked the rest of the way to the office. Get off is the opposite of get on. These two are a very useful pair to learn together. Get on, get off. On and off. Very simple once you have the image in your head.
Now, before we go further, we are already at 10 phrasal verbs. Are you keeping up, everyone? Keep up means to stay at the same pace, to follow along without falling behind. I hope you are keeping up with us today, and if you need to pause and replay any part, please do. That is exactly how language learning works.
So, Corey, what happened when you got to the office this morning? Did everything go smoothly?
Well, the first thing I always do at work is log in to my computer. Log in means to enter your username and password to access a system. I log into my computer, I log into my email, I log into our team platform first thing every morning. It is the official signal that the workday has begun.
Same here. And then I look through all my emails to see what came in overnight. Look through means to read or check things one by one, scanning for what is important. I look through my messages every morning. I look through my notes before a meeting. I look through the list before I go shopping.
And if I see something important, I immediately write it down in my notebook. Write down means to put something on paper so you do not forget it. I always write down my to-do list in the morning. If I do not write it down, I forget everything before lunch. I have tested this theory many times, and the results are always the same.
The notebook never lies. If there is a difficult task, I try to figure it out before asking for help. Figure out means to find the answer to something, to solve a problem through thinking. I had to figure out a new software system last week. It took me 2 full hours, but I did it, and that feeling of success was absolutely worth it.
That is such a great feeling. Okay, what about problems at work? Do you ever have to deal with difficult situations, Oris?
Oh yes, all the time. Last week I had to deal with a very complicated report that had errors all through it. Deal with means to handle or manage a situation. I deal with customer questions every day at work. I deal with technical issues regularly, and sometimes I have to deal with misunderstandings between team members. It is just part of working life.
Absolutely. And did you manage to sort it out in the end? Sort out means to fix a problem or bring order to something messy. I finally sorted out a billing issue I had been dealing with for weeks. The relief I felt was enormous. When things finally sort themselves out, it is the best feeling.
I did sort it out, yes, just before my afternoon meeting, which was perfect timing. I also had to set up the projector for that meeting. Set up means to prepare or arrange something so it is ready to use. I set up the chairs, I set up the screen, I set up my laptop, and then I stood there hoping the technology would behave itself for once.
Technology always chooses the worst moments to misbehave. And, Oris, do you find you sometimes have to point out mistakes to your colleagues?
Sometimes, yes. Point out means to show or indicate something, to bring attention to it. My manager pointed out a small error in my report last month, and even though I was a little embarrassed, I was truly grateful. It is always better to point things out early and kindly, rather than let a small mistake become a big problem.
Very well said. Okay, everyone. We are at 20 phrasal verbs now. You are doing an absolutely fantastic job.
We are halfway through, so keep going. We are going to keep the conversation flowing.
I usually carry on with whatever I was working on in the morning. Carry on means to continue doing something. Even when things get difficult, just carry on. Even when you are tired, carry on. Even when the coffee has run out, carry on. That one is the hardest, honestly.
Huh, that is very true. If I am feeling tired in the afternoon, I like to step out for some fresh air, even just for 5 minutes. Step out means to leave a place briefly, usually to go outside for a short time. I step out during my lunch break. I step out between meetings. And those few minutes outside make such a difference to how I feel the rest of the day.
That is a wonderful habit. I sometimes call up a friend during my break just to hear a familiar voice. Call up means to telephone someone. I called up my mom yesterday just to say hello. I called up an old colleague to catch up, and sometimes I call up a friend when I just need to hear some good news.
And does it help? Does talking to a friend cheer you up? Now let us talk about the commute home. Do you take the bus or the train, Corey?
I take the train, and I always try to get a seat. On busy evenings, it is completely full. And yesterday, I was so tired that I almost dozed off standing up. Doze off means to fall asleep by accident, usually when you are sitting, or in my case, barely standing somewhere. It is that slow, heavy feeling where your eyes just will not stay open.
I have done that so many times. I once dozed off on the train and completely missed my stop. I woke up at a station I had never been to, and I had to turn around and go all the way back. It was absolutely a disaster, and I was late, and I had learned my lesson permanently.
Oh no! So you had to get off at the wrong stop, turn around, and get back on in the other direction. That is the worst kind of surprise. Did anyone notice what had happened?
The whole carriage noticed, I think. The embarrassment was real. Okay, so when I finally get home, whenever that is, the very first thing I do is take off my shoes. There is no better feeling in the entire world. Take off means to remove clothing or accessories from your body. Take off your coat, take off your shoes, take off your bag. It is the opposite of put on. Put on and take off are a great pair to remember together.
Two sides of the same coin. Then I usually tidy up the kitchen a little before I do anything else. Tidy up means to make a place clean and organized. I tidy up my living room every evening. I tidy up my desk before I leave work. And I always feel calmer once things are in order. A tidy space really does create a tidy mind.
I need to do that more consistently. I often tell myself I will tidy up tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes and I say the same thing again. It is a very convincing lie I keep telling myself every evening.
I have done that so many times. I once dozed off on the train and completely missed my stop. I woke up at a station I had never been to, and I had to turn around and go all the way back. It was absolutely a disaster, and I was late, and I had learned my lesson permanently.
We are all guilty of that. Okay, everyone, we are at 30 phrasal verbs now. How are you feeling? You are doing wonderfully. Keep going. We are in the home stretch.
Oris, let us talk about evenings and free time. What do you like to do to wind down after a long day?
Oh, I love that phrase. Wind down means to relax and slow down after a busy day, to let go of the tension and shift into a calmer gear. I usually wind down by watching something light on television or reading a book that has absolutely nothing to do with work. Those quiet evening hours are my favorite part of the day.
I wind down by making a cup of herbal tea and sitting quietly for a bit. No screens, no notifications, just peace. It also helps me switch off from work completely. Switch off means to stop thinking about work or stress. It can also literally mean to turn off a device, but in everyday conversation, we use it to mean giving your brain a rest. I switch off my work brain at around 7 o'clock every evening. and I am much better for it.
That is such a healthy habit. I often end up scrolling on my phone for too long, which defeats the whole point of winding down. I am genuinely trying to cut back on screen time. Cut back means to reduce the amount of something you do or use. I am cutting back on social media, cutting back on late-night phone use, and trying to cut back on the habit of checking my emails after hours.
I am cutting back on coffee right now. I used to drink 4 cups a day, which was clearly too many. 4 cups is not a habit. That is a lifestyle. But I am making progress.
That is great progress. You just have to keep at it. Keep at it means to continue working on something even when it is difficult, to persist through the challenge. Keep at it with your English. Keep at it with your goals. Keep at it even when you feel like you are not moving forward, because you always are, even when you cannot see it.
And never give up. Give up means to stop trying completely. But we never tell our listeners to give up. Never give up on your English. Never give up on yourself. You are getting better every single day, even when it does not feel that way. And that is something we genuinely believe with all our hearts.
Now, Corey, do you hang out with friends during the week, or is it mostly a weekend thing?
Mostly weekends, honestly. During the week, I am usually too tired to go anywhere after work. Hangout means to spend relaxed, casual time with someone, without any particular plan or agenda. I love hanging out with my friends at the park on Saturdays. We just walk and talk, and it never feels like enough time.
I actually hung out with my neighbor last Tuesday. We sat outside with some tea and just talked for about 2 hours, and it was one of the nicest evenings I had all week. Sometimes the simplest moments end up being the most memorable ones.